Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. I believe the big crash is about to happen. All hell is about to break loose. Chaos, financial chaos, and I really believe the FBI raid on, what do you call him, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. I believe that arrest is going to cause a cascade of people turning on each other. And then you're going to see the crash. And people are going to need you. The world is falling apart so it can fall back together. So we live in a society of people that have, I don't even want to say they don't believe in this stuff, as in believe that narcissist abuse exists. They don't even understand what it is. They've heard the word narcissist or narcissism, but they don't really get what it's all about. This whole arrest on P. Diddy's home, the, what do they call that, this home invasion or whatever they called it, this whole thing that's going down is all about narcissist abuse. And when it hits them, when the reality, see, most people cannot look at reality. They drink coffee, they smoke cigarettes, they do a lot of energy drinks. They'll do anything but look at what's really happening. So there's been a series of events that have been happening. I don't want to go back too far, but I opened up around, I think it was the day before or the day after the 9/9. I think it was the day before actually started happening, 2 days. So I started opening up and becoming much more aware of what's going on a larger scale. And I even made a video about that. I think I said my heart's opening up. And usually when that happens, that means something's about to hit. So I'm definitely seeing things on a higher level now. I was taking a nap earlier today, and the reality of how the pieces are unfolding is, it's a comforting reality. So let's start out there, then we'll get back into the P. Diddy stuff. So all of this stuff is ugly. It's ugly, it's dark, it's heavy energy, it's probably the ugliest time in mankind right now. When darkness and light clash, that's what we're going through right now. The light has finally risen and it is fighting back. And by the way, you guys have been doing what you're supposed to be doing. Just watching videos on narcissist abuse, consciousness, the spirit world of what's really going on. What you do, even if you don't verbally say anything, make videos, post anything on social media, it doesn't matter. Your light, your awareness begins to turn on, it begins to expand. And other people, just by being in your vicinity, by talking to you, could be long distance on the phone, just by being around you, being connected to you, having conversations with you, it turns their light on, and just by doing that, they start to see more and more of reality. So just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was not happy at all. I was pretty miserable, and it's because it felt like we were stuck. Like, this is not changing. There's no movement. Nothing's happening. So when I go through clearings, when I begin to expand more and more, it's hard because, all right, the best way to explain it is during a Tony Robbins seminar way back in 1990, I'm going to say it was 92 or 93. He said, you have this thing called a circle of influence. So he drew a circle on the board or the piece of paper up on stage, and he goes, within the circle, you're comfortable. Like, this is your comfort zone. This is your circle of influence. Within this circle, you can influence anything that you want and everything works. But the problem is it's very limited. And as a human, you always want to expand more and more and more. He goes, the problem is, when you go beyond this line, expand even just a little bit out, expand your circle a little bit wider, it brings on a lot of stress, because now you're having to deal with things that you've never seen, heard, or dealt with. He goes, and what generally happens is you get very scared. It can cause you to go into a fear state. He says the thing is, though, fear is actually false evidence that appears real, okay? FEAR. He says, and every time you do it and you deal with it, you finally get to the point where, okay, now I can deal with this. Now I'm comfortable within this circle of influence. He goes, that's life. We're constantly expanding, and every time you expand, you go through that fear state. Now, most people generally stop doing this when they're between 21 and 25. In fact, a lot of psychologists will say, yeah, the average person, the average human stops growing at the age of 25. They're just like, no, I don't want to deal with fear anymore. I'm just going to keep my job, keep my head down, and just pay my bills, and that's it. Well, the Lord, God, Jesus, call it spirit, whatever you want to call it, they have a way of causing you to go through, dark night of the tower, dark night of the soul, causing you to have a tower moment, which means something comes into your sphere that you don't like. And if you want to get over this uncomfortableness, this fear, this whatever you call it, you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to take care of business. So whether you choose to take steps to further yourself, or God, the spirit within you, causes things to happen in your life, you're going to expand one way or another. Now, a lot of us that are on this channel, most of you that have been with me for more than 6 months, especially those of you who've been here for a year and a half, 2, 3, 4 years, you went through this when hardly anyone even understood what the word narcissist meant. Okay, you were going through it. Your friends, you turned to your friends and they're looking at you like, oh, okay, a little crazy. Kind of like they did with Cat Williams. How years ago he was talking about, hey, P. Diddy's going to get arrested. He's going down. He's throwing these parties. Hey, what they're doing at the party's wrong. Blah blah blah. People literally like, oh, he's being weird. Oh, he just doesn't like P. Diddy. He's crazy. And now that it's happening right now, everyone is wanting to interview him. Everyone's wanting to say, hey, how did you know? He goes, a lot of people knew. Nobody wanted to talk about it. Because they were framed, they were blackmailed, they had videos taken of them that they weren't aware of, and on and on and on. So the last 3 weeks, maybe a little bit more, I went through this uncomfortable expansion, and it was just, oh man, how do I explain it? Hold on. Sorry about that. I'm not even going to try to explain. It was really uncomfortable. It's because I had to see something at a larger level. And I finally at a point where I finally let go, and it's like, I'm like, oh, so the really cool thing is I'm seeing things on an energetic level where, oh, everything is cascading into place. Like everything is falling into place. And I'm gonna go back just a little bit. Okay, this is where I started this whole thing. So Linkin Park found a new singer. Their singer Chester Bennington had died about, I think it was 7 years ago. And a lot of people didn't think they were going to come back. Well, they did. They finally found a singer. They wrote some songs. And man, one of them is off the hook. It is called The Empty Machine. I have it at my website right now. Go to MikeKollin.com. MikeKollin.com. It is at the top of my website right now. And that song, it is like... Okay, so that song is emotional. It is colorful. It is... the pressure that's inside you, it's the energy. It's very, so the energy you get from that song is emotions, passion, anger, hurt, sadness, everything, not just negative but positive. And it's like, it's the realization. If you listen to it, it's about narcissist abuse, by the way. It's like, I let you cut me only for you to watch me bleed, or something like that. And as you listen, you're like, wow, that's exactly what I went through with a narcissist. Like every lyric when you go through that, like that's exactly what is. So there. What it is there's something inside you. There's a light, there's color, there's sound, there's flavors, there's the 5 senses. There's this emotion, this passion, this fascination inside you that narcissists don't have, because narcissists are empty. They are the empty machine. So this song is an emotional song. If you listen to it over and over, you will start to cry. You might even cry the very first time you listen to it. And it's like it's a release. It's like the dam finally broke. So this song came out 2 or 3 weeks before this arrest. And it's like the energy shifted everything. It was an energy that needed to happen. It's like this happened, which led to this. Because it was kind of like all of a sudden, wait, Linkin Park's back? Like, because a lot of people like they're not going to come back. Not like they are now. And when they came with this song, it was like, it's like this emotional dam burst open for a lot of people, which is allowing people just to see what's going on. And then P. Diddy gets arrested. And all this stuff is getting exposed. Like right now, if you go to YouTube right now, every minute someone's uploading a video about videos of things he said, videos of the parties, videos of all kinds of things, videos of people saying, hey, here's what happened to me. You know, famous people, actors and actresses, etc., etc. I am realizing it is not a coincidence that things like that song came out just before this happened. It's because the emotion, the energy of it is expressing what people are going through right now. So there's a series of cascades that have to happen, because there are still some people right now, even after everything that's been said for the last 10 years, from Cat Williams talking about P. Diddy and all the evidence, everything that's happened, from Tupac Shakur and how P. Diddy got arrested for that and blah, blah, blah. A lot of people think he paid someone $1 million to do that. It's like all of this stuff has been leading up to right now. All right, next. So people are about to wake up, and I mean on a mass level. The shock will be traumatizing for a lot of them, because a lot of them have completely and totally denied their own trauma, their own stuff that's happened to them since childhood. And they've literally looked up to these people as their heroes, as people that they want to follow. And the shock of the reality of who these people are monsters. It's all going to come crashing down on them. Another thing I want to say about that is you guys are the ones who are going to have to lead them out. You're going to have to lead them through it, because you guys have already gone through it. You are like the second wave of people that had to go through this. So you already know what to say. Well, here's what I mean. You know about the 4-step cycle, the love bombing, the devaluation, the what's it called when they leave you? I'm going to call it abandonment. I just forgot the word. And you also know about the hoovering phase. Another big part of it is, so number one, just talking to them about this 4-step cycle will make them aware of what's going on, okay? And they're going to start realizing, like, wait a minute, this isn't all in my head. Like, nope, it's not in your head. This really has been happening. It's been happening your entire life. Another part of that is just when they meet people that are like, wait a minute, you understand this? Oh, absolutely. It's not just saying it, it's the way you say it. It's when you share your stories. They're going to be like, wait, so you believe me? Like, oh, I absolutely believe you. It's not just telling them that. It's because of the way you're interacting. Because most people, the way they interact with them are, oh, really? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Oh, I believe you. Like, you can hear in their voice, like they're looking at me like, dude, you're talking crazy talk right now. So you guys were prepared. You were the first ones to go through it. Well, maybe not the first ones to go through it, but you were the first level where there was enough numbers to where you were going to lead the rest of these people out and lead them through it. One of the things that really is necessary that will help you so you don't get caught up in their energy is you need to learn how to ground yourself emotionally. That is really, really important, to stay grounded in the moment, okay? It will help bring them in the moment instead of getting caught up in the images and the videos and the stuff in their head. Again, if enough of you want to take my internal awareness course where you learn how to ground your energy, ground yourself emotionally, let me know and we'll set up a workshop out here in the Bay Area, San Francisco, California. Maybe not in the city, but somewhere near San Francisco. So here's the deal. You have to understand something. There are people online. I've actually grabbed a couple quotes from people who are like, oh, this isn't real. I mean, those people went to that party willingly. Yeah, but what you're not aware of, and some of the society is not aware of what's actually happening. These people were coerced. They were, one of the drugs they were given, it wasn't a, hey, do you want to take, it was slipped into their drinks, is ketamine. There's not a video, but videos on YouTube of P. Diddy before people were allowed to actually go onto the property. He was collecting all their cell phones, like, hey, no one's allowed to have a cell phone at the party. Is it because it's an up and up party, P. Diddy? No, because it's not. Now, what I'm about to explain is what anyone who's really gone through really deep narcissist abuse has gone through. The guilt, the shame, the mind games, all of that. So this guy is trying to compare, oh, well, like, these are just women going to these parties and, they're having sex and now they're turning around saying they want to sue people. No, it wasn't just women either. It was people like Justin Bieber and a lot of famous people and non-famous people There were illegal recordings that were going on, and then they were showing them afterwards and saying, hey, you better play ball, otherwise we're going to reveal this to society. So they were coerced, they were manipulated, and they absolutely were drugged. They were fed alcohol, the drug ketamine and some other stuff were put in their drinks. And what does it do? It makes you very compliant. It makes you very mellow, and it also makes you forget what happened. So to sit there and say that this was just, people going to a party, no, this was not a normal thing at all. But here's the deal. If you haven't been through this, if you haven't been drugged, if you have not been gaslighted, if you have not had a group of people gaslighting you, turning on you, blaming you, shaming you, doing the reverse blame game. If you have not been mind fucked on this level, you have no idea what you're talking about. Not to mention the threats of being, hey, I'm going to tell everyone that you're a bad person. I've gotten video and images of you, and I'm going to show people. I'm going to go around getting you fired from your jobs. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. What P. Diddy did was on another level. So what's one of the main things narcissists do? They're going to ruin your life. They will go everywhere. They are relentless. They have their group of people. They pay people to go after you. They will pay people to quit their job, to get a job where you work, just to harass you, just to turn your coworkers against you. And they use all these psychological tactics. So this is not a normal thing. If you have not been through gang stalking, you have no idea what you're talking about. Now, what these people went through on that level was a much, much worse level. Not only did he, these people had dreams. They worked their asses off, and they're literally on the verge of breaking through, and that's when he gets them. And then he records them, and then he puts them on drugs, and then he does this, and he does some really horrible things. I don't want to get into it too detail here. And then he says, hey, and now I'm going to use this against you if you don't play ball. Now, if you've truly been through narcissist abuse, you're probably watching this in horror because you absolutely understand the threat. You understand whether it's a social threat, a job threat, a violent physical threat, etc. You understand what can and will happen. Why do you think they're exhuming his ex-girlfriend's body? Because they think that he killed her. They said she died of pneumonia. Now they're taking her out of her grave to do another examination to find out if that's true or whether she was killed. Why do you think so many people end up dead around narcissists? If they don't get their way, well, they're going to take you out. This is why I tell people, hey, tell your friends, tell your family, show them the picture of the person, give them the name, and on and on. That way, if something does happen to you, they can go straight to the police. All right, let me I actually took some notes for this video. It's very rare for me. So, how much has the world changed? So before, they had videos of you and images, recordings to use against you, to shame you, to humiliate you. But now, we are finally realizing, wait a minute. If they show that stuff, we can use that against them. We can have them arrested and thrown in prison for life. So now what's happening, the police, the FBI, they are going after this stuff, using this as evidence against people like P. Diddy and Narcissist to have them not impounded, but have them arrested and put in prison. So this is how much the world has changed. You were so brainwashed, society in general, in the past, but now we're like, well, wait a minute, isn't that evidence to prove that they're guilty? Yeah, it is. And now here's the shift. Now they're running to their homes and their caches, and they're burning these tapes up. They're trying to hide this stuff. Now they're trying to destroy it and get rid of it for good. It was never evidence against you. It was always evidence against them. That's how dumb they are. And now you can use it against them. Now, I've shared the story in the past. About a year ago, maybe 9 months ago, there was a guy that called me from Southern California, and he was getting harassed by this group of people. He was an artist, and he was successful. He was making a lot of money. I think it was on Instagram, or I forget where it was, on some platform. And he was making a good chunk of money. We're talking like, I think he said it was like $100,000 to $200,000 per crystal thing that he designed and built. And this other person was not making it. He was a failure, and he got jealous, and he started attacking this guy. People were coming to his home at night. People were doing stuff to his lawn, to his car. They were following him to work. I mean, just, downtown. And so when I was listening to him, what I had said is like, really? So how many times they came to your home? He goes, a lot, like multiple times a week. I'm like, really? I like, God, I wish you lived closer, like 30 minutes or an hour away. He goes, why is that? I go, you know what I would do for you? I would literally hide in one of the bushes or around the corner, and I would freaking literally tackle them the minute they came up onto your property, and I would call the cops. And he's like, wait a minute, you believe me? I'm like, well, yeah, I believe you. What are you talking about? And that's what I mean when I say that's what you can do for people. See, a therapist that hasn't been through it, they can't really help people like you can. You've been through it. The number one thing that people are looking for is for someone to truly relate and to actually understand. And if you haven't been through it, if you haven't awakened to it, you can't fake it. You can't just act empathetic. They really need to talk to people who've been through it. That helps a lot. Now, right now, you've got a lot of yahoos like pork rinds. Willful consent is not rape. Well, it wasn't willful. They were drugged. They were all kinds of stuff. I already explained all this stuff. And then you got a female. Now, by the way, these are probably fake accounts. These are probably narcissists. So then Shauna goes, I'm in the movie and modeling business, so this stuff happens. And I'm like, oh, so therefore it's okay? Kind of messed up, huh? By the way, these were taken tonight when the FBI was speaking publicly, and they had all the reporters there. It was on national television. Stating, hey, this is what we found, this is what we have, here's our evidence, here's our proof. And these people are still saying stuff like this. So this one says, everyone in this chat would bend over for $1 million at Diddy's party. But there's a difference. There's a difference between coercion, being drugged, being manipulated, being forced, being threatened, being illegally recorded against your will, outside of your awareness, being hidden from you, versus P. Diddy just coming up saying, hey, I'll give you $1 million to do this. See, you have your free will to do it. What he did was not free will. Sorry, cut that off. It was not free will at all. Then you got pork rinds again. That's like a straight man willfully going to a gay club and then filing charges for sexual harassment. No, that's not true at all. Being drugged, being threatened, being told, hey, do you want a career? Because if you don't play ball, you're not going to have a career anymore. When do they do that at any club? Now, in all sincerity, this response, it really sounds like someone who just doesn't understand what narcissist abuse is. I mean, even the FBI guy was telling them they've been illegally recorded. Some of these people were drugged. A lot of these people were threatened. A lot of these people were told, you're never going to have a job in Hollywood ever again if you don't play ball, blah, 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 blah. Not to mention the social threats, hey, we're going to ruin your life. We're going to ruin your social life. You'll never go outside again. We're going to humiliate you. We're going to shame you. That's a big part of narcissist abuse. So people who have never been through it, they don't understand. Here's P. Diddy's ex-girlfriend again, Cassie, and she was living under threat. In fact, at one point, let me show you what happens. He literally grabs her and throws her on the ground because she was trying to sneak away. She had her bags. I didn't show you the picture. She has her bags in her hand and she's trying to get away from him. She's sneaking out of the hotel and he catches her. He literally runs after her, grabs her and throws her to the ground. And here he is literally grabbing her either by her hair or by her hoodie, and he's dragging her back to the room. So if you think this is mutual consent, if you think this is like a straight man going to a gay bar, yeah, you're way off, buddy. So that guy posting those, I guarantee you he is a narcissist, and they are at work fighting for their right to abuse you. They are it's like literally like they're going, oh shit, everything's, we've got to turn this around. And that's exactly, they're trying to reverse blame. Like, oh, well, she went to the party, so it's her fault. So if you ever run into someone like this that talks like that says, oh, well, it's her fault, I'm guarantee you that's a reverse blame tactic. That's a narcissist tactic. That is a narcissist. End conversation immediately. There's no use talking to them. It's pearl to swine. You're wasting your breath because they're not going to hear you because they don't want to. Do you know why these people are making these messed up comments after everything that's been exposed? Is because they're narcissists. They like their way of life and they want to convince you, no, P. Diddy did nothing wrong, or this narcissist here, they did nothing wrong. It was the other person. They're supposed to accept the abuse, and we're supposed to blame them for getting abused for not doing anything wrong. Narcissists are not going to give up the castle. They are not going to quit their bullshit. In other words, you've got to call them on their bullshit. You've got to educate other people. You've got to take the castle down. These clowns, they love their life. They love abusing people. It's more than money to them. And I'm not kidding. It's more than $1 million. If you said, hey, if you had a choice between I gave you $1 million or abusing people, which would you take? They're like, well, what do you mean? So if I gave you $1 million right now and you could never ever gaslight someone, play mind games, hurt people, poison people, drug people, set people up, talk behind their back, none of that stuff, none of the love bombing, none of the devaluing, none of that stuff, I guarantee you they would not take the $1 million. That's how much they want to hold on to what they've got. Not only that, but these clowns, and again, they are clowns. They found a way to get millions and millions of dollars. They don't want to let go of that either. Well, too bad. Entertainers, actors up on stage, like, remember in high school like that? That's what it used to be like. Oh, they got paid nickels. People would just throw some change up on the stage, and that's all they got. Now they found a way to make $10 million a film. Some people make more than $10 million a film. The balance of power is shifting. So why did the feds let this go on so long? It's very possible because they wanted to catch as many people as possible. It's very possible they caught Sean up years ago, at least a couple years ago, and they said, hey, keep this going, keep recording, we're going to catch as many people as possible. There's been a big global pedophile ring that's been going on for decades, and I believe this is one of the things that's going to crack it. At the very least, it's going to take a huge dent out of it. Pray for the children. In the United States alone, from the last time I checked, and again, it's been quite a while, probably a year now, 9 months, but something around 600,000 children go missing every year. About half of that is a mother or a father, one of the parents taking the child because of divorce or separation, okay? And they are recovered. So about half are recovered, and so here's my point. Let's give it a little bit more of a benefit, say 350,000 get recovered one way or another, okay? There's still 250,000 children that they never find every single year. I was a little bit generous with those numbers, trying to be kind, but it's actually worse than that. I just found another recent article. Now, this is the Department of Homeland Security. This is Department of Public Safety, Homeland Security, missing persons. A child goes missing every 40 seconds in the U.S., over 2,100 per day. In excess of 800,000 children are reported missing each year. Another 500,000 go missing without ever being reported. So that's another 500,000 on top of it. Now, in an older article from an article by Slate called 800,000 Missing Kids, Really? Making Sense of Child Abductions. The numbers are similar, a little bit lower because this is going back to 2007. And then they say that 203,900 were family abductions, meaning divorced mother, father, parents, family, etc. And 58,200 were non-family abductions, okay? So there's another article I read a while back. So essentially they do get back approximately, I think it was 300,000 children. Now, that was based off an article that was saying 600-some thousand children are missing every year, and that was a few years back. So now it's gone up to 800,000, plus it says 500,000 missing go on top of that are never even reported. I like to give a much better statistic, which is not true. I like to lower the number way below, and I like to say 250,000 children a year go missing in the United States, and they are never, ever, ever found. It is much higher according to these numbers that I just read off. So keeping the numbers low, 250,000 plus children every year, and it's probably, according to that, we're looking at like 500,000 plus children. They're gone. Where are they going? And why is nobody talking about it? Why is this not the number one concern above anything, beyond anything on the planet? Because the clowns are literally running the show. This is the way they want it, because they're the ones stealing the children, and God knows what they're doing. It's because we allow narcissist abuse. We have accepted this. It is time to take a stand, to take back your power, to fight back, and to speak up, and stop accepting this. This is completely and totally unacceptable. This is not acceptable at all in any way, shape, or form, period. Even if it was only $150,000 a year, unacceptable. $100,000, unacceptable. $50,000, unacceptable. This narcissist abuse world has to end. God bless you guys. Keep your prayers up. Pray for the children. Pray for yourselves and pray for each other. If you like this video, please click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment. And if you want to go ahead and make a donation, there's a PayPal link right there in the description box. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.